everyone, welcome to my channel. If it's your first time landing on one of my videos, my name is Stasia and this channel is all about health and weight loss content following a whole food plant-based diet. So today's video, I'm going to be sharing 5 of my favorite foods to bring when I am on the go. I am a busy mom, like probably a lot of you, or just a busy person in general. And you know, sometimes it's easy to forget ourselves. We can somehow micromanage every other person's life but our own. So yes, guilty. So I find when I have, a handful of favorite foods on rotation, whether that be for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, it's no different for on-the-go snacks as well. Sometimes we just need something to tide us over until we get back home or wherever we're going to eat. So the foods I'm going to show you today can stand as an actual meal for some of them, or just maybe something just to tide you over until you get home to actually eat. Okay, but as promised, before we jump into the video, just a reminder to those of you who are following me that the first 10 people to purchase a copy of any of my weight loss recipe ebooks by the time I release this video will get them at a whopping 50% off. Yes, that is right. With Christmas and everything right around the corner, I know that money can be tight, but health is always important. So if you have not grabbed a copy yet, then now is your chance. The link will be in the description box below, so good luck. Okay, so we're just gonna jump right into this video and get into those easy on-the-go foods that you can bring with you basically anywhere you go. The first one is going to be overnight oats. Now, I cannot stress how easy overnight oats are. Keep in mind, oatmeal can be eaten any time of the day. I know that we have this association with oatmeal being a breakfast food, so to speak, but no, I can't tell you how many times I've had oatmeal for lunch, for dinner, for a snack. Oatmeal can be had at any time of the day. So I find that bringing overnight oats with me is one of the most perfect ways to either tide me over or serve as a complete meal. Now, I will say, if you want it to be a meal, make sure you add enough oats. Sometimes I see a lot of people too scared to have like a full cup of oats and they're gonna reduce it down to half a cup. But you have to keep in mind, if you are having oatmeal as your main meal, and especially if you're on the go and you don't really have anything to, preload with or fill up with in terms of fruits or non-starchy veggies, then you definitely want to make sure that you have enough actual oatmeal. So I would recommend throwing in at least 1 cup of oats to make your overnight oats rather than, let's say, like half of a cup. Overnight oats are super easy. You just throw in however much oats you want. You add whatever type of fruit you want on top. If you'd like a sweetener or not, maybe some vanilla extract and some plant-based milk to cover it all up. Throw a lid on it, pop it in the fridge, and by the next day or even just a few hours later, you have an on-the-go meal. What I like about it is the convenience of it because you're already making it in a jar with an airtight lid, so it can easily be thrown inside a bag or brought with you wherever, and the opening of it is big enough to eat right out of the container. So don't forget your spoon and you are good to go. So overnight oats are definitely something that are easy enough to bring with you anywhere you're going, and also something to consider. Even if you didn't make the overnight oats before, no problem. You can literally whip it together just before you're leaving the house, and within a few hours, it's going to be ready to eat anyways. So once again, just proving that they are the perfect on-the-go meal to bring. The second food, which would be sweet potato chocolate pudding. Okay, so for those of you who already have my recipe weight loss ebooks, this recipe is actually in there to make my chocolate sweet potato pudding. Oh, it is so good. I will say that even since I made that ebook, sometimes I add a little splash of vanilla extract or even some PB&Me butter. Not every time, not totally necessary, but it just adds a little bit. I tell you, this is amazing. First of all, if you're out and you are hangry, it is going to give you a little pick-me-up because, it's chocolate, so that's what chocolate does. And secondly, it's going to fill you because it's actually made with sweet potato and some banana in there. So those are some nice healthy starches to keep you full until you get to where you're going. This is something that, when you're actually craving something sweet, let's say, or if you're out with other people and they're eating certain foods that you're trying to avoid, this is going to be something that you can be excited about yourself, knowing that you have some nice cold chocolate pudding that's healthy for you. You're doing your body some good, and it's going to actually fill you, not with empty calories, but with real nutritious calories. One tip I will say though is make sure it's cold. That is the only way you can eat this stuff and really, really love it on the level you're supposed to. So I sometimes actually throw mine in the freezer for an hour or so before I'm heading out the door. It doesn't make it totally frozen, it just gets it nice and cold. But you can also just throw it in some kind of cooler pack or bring an ice pack with your lunch or whatever. Just make sure it's cold and you will thank me later. But this is my second food that I love bringing when I am on the go. Okay, so even though those first two meals were, pretty basic stuff, we're gonna dummy it down even more. So the third thing I am really liking bringing with me when I'm on the go is some potatoes. I was gonna juggle that one, but didn't wanna risk it. So just some simple potatoes. I made these in my Instant Pot. They're nice and cool now. I also have some sweet potatoes cooling on top of my stove right now. Just some potatoes. You can throw them in a container and eat them as is. I know that probably feels different to you or maybe even funny because a lot of the times before finding this way of eating, when we think of eating potatoes, we think of topping them off with something, right? But let me tell you something, when you are hungry enough, you can't imagine how good a plain potato will taste. And not only that, the most important thing being that A, it's healthy for you, and B, it's going to keep you full, take the edge off until you can eat for real. So don't underestimate just bringing a regular cooled potato or a regular cooled sweet potato and eating just that alone. I can't tell you how many times I've done that, and it honestly just can't get any easier. Let me know in the comments if you love potatoes that much that you are willing to try that or that you already do it. Okay, so we're gonna keep the next one really simple as well, keeping it to those basics. Defrosted fruit. Now, why I say defrosted fruit is only for the fact of convenience. So if you want to take the time to chop up some fresh fruit, by all means, fresh is amazing as well. But for the sake of us busy people that just don't have the time to do that, and as a result, if we feel we don't have the time to do it, we're just not going to do anything at all. So the solution for that for me has been using defrosted fruit. I've talked about that in some of my other videos, and I cannot tell you how amazing and silly easy this little hack is. So you literally just dump whatever your favorite frozen fruit are into a container, and by the time a few hours pass by when you're out and about, your fruit is going to be ready to eat. So it literally doesn't get better than that. And the fruit, of course, is not going to be a meal on its own, but it's certainly going to be enough to take that edge off and get you through until you do actually eat. Okay, so this last one is something that's a little bit new to me, and I've been wondering if I should share it with you guys on here, but I think it's definitely worth a share because this has saved me a handful of times. So I've been making this instant soup that I bring with me that I saw on some social media platform. I think it was like Instagram somewhere, a few different people doing it. Everyone's kind of has their different variations of it, but basically it's an instant noodle soup. So all you do is throw some noodles in a canning jar or recyclable jar that you're reusing, as well as some spices, some frozen vegetables, and I even sometimes sneak in some chopped up potato or beans just to fill it out a little bit more. Then basically you just throw the lid on it and then find some hot water somewhere. So I just usually pull through like some kind of fast food place and ask for a cup of hot water, or if I'm going to my mom's, and of course I have access to hot water, but it's really that simple. Then you just pour hot water over it, and I usually let it set for like 5 to 10 minutes or so, and you have yourself some instant soup. It's really actually kind of cool. And obviously it's so much healthier than using the store-bought instant soup, which is just full of garbage. So we're not even gonna get into that, but this is a much healthier alternative, but still I would say just as quick. I'm constantly thinking of ways to make this lifestyle easier, to make it effortless. That's the key, is just making it so easy that you really don't feel that you're putting in that much effort to do so. So creating these little hacks, finding these easy enough, quick enough foods that you can whip together and, they help you to stay on track. That's what it's all about. So I hope that these 5 foods are maybe something you'll consider trying, or maybe some of you are already using some of these foods. So if you like this video, please give it a nice thumbs up, as well as consider subscribing to my channel if you also like health and weight loss content following a whole food plant-based diet. All right, everyone, the sun is officially down. I don't know if my lighting has changed. I'm going to assume it has. So I'm gonna get out of here and leave it at this, but I will look forward to seeing all of you guys in the next one.